Here we go for today's number. It's March 15, 2022. 10 balls. Each ball has a number. Numbers 1 through 10. Pick a number. Today's number is...
Today, I'll be talking all about surrealism. Surrealism is a cultural movement that began in the 1920s, pioneered by artists by the likes of Andre Breton and Salvador Dali. David. The movement is designed to elicit a sense of discomfort and intrigue by blurring.
One means by the unconscious. I don't believe in some substantial unconscious. Okay, then I'm a woman, sorry. I always jump from the... So, I will give you one
so-called
example
strong emergence
an indication.
and weak emergence. Sometimes this distinction could be construed as the strong emergence is ontological emergence, whereas the weak emergence is epistemological emergence. And the difference here is that for the physicalists who think that consciousness is strongly emergent,
that God owns us as property.
Mother coerced! Fortune! Servant!
Have you seen my laptop?
Yeah, maybe. What is a laptop?
It's a small computer. You can have one right in front of you.
Oh, yes. It's right here.
No, my laptop.
No, you don't have one.
That's what I'm...
Is something I've been working on since the early 70s.
Do you know where it
psychedelic plant
is?
experiences in the Amazon to attempt to look at time and really deconstruct it and attempt to understand what it is. And this has been a wild intellectual ride leading to some pretty easily stated conclusions. One is that novelty, which is my term for complexity, advanced organization, novelty increases as more culture comes in. The universe of the millennium is a far more novel and complicated place than the early universe was. Well, some people would say, well, that's just a consequence of the unfolding of developmental processes. But this is the question, what are developmental processes? Why should the universe have a preference for order over disorder? Especially when we use something called the second law of thermodynamics, which tells us exactly the opposite. Physicists believe the universe is running down ultimately into a state of disorder. But what I see is everywhere the emergence of more and more complex forms, languages, organisms, technologies, all is building on previously achieved levels of complexity. So that was one of my insights. Coming out of that insight was the
who had suffered
this
from
process of
respiratory ailments from a
is
young
not
age,
proceeding at a steady rate.
developed
It actually follows a kind of
tuberculosis
asymptotic
in
curve.
1968
In other words, it's happening faster and
underwent
faster.
lung
And
removal.
this was a revelation to me because
He
it allowed me
suffered
philosophically to
increasingly
contextualize the human
severe
world
respiratory
and to understand
symptoms
that
like
human technologies,
in last
languages,
years of his
migrations,
life,
art
tasks
movements,
such as
ideologies
writing
are not something different
require
from nature.
laborious
They're the
effort.
same download of process that we see in the movement of continents, the evolution of new species of animals, except that these human novel emergent situations are happening much more quickly. So I see the cosmos, if you will, as a kind of novelty-producing engine, a kind of machine which produces complexity.
That cuts into every machine function as breaking the flows and breaking the flow in relation to machine to expand. But at the same time, it's also fluid itself, function from machine to expand. So that is, to paraphrase that, as desiring machines, we're part of all the other flows of desiring machines we feed into and we see from. We're going to do this topic are really well known for rise of
difference and repetition, difference and repetition, difference and repetition, difference and repetition, difference and
Also most fascinating philosopher. And in addition to that, I think his works have almost kind of a psychedelic quality to them. I also have to admit I'm not really an expert or specialist.
Like, if we do this as a conversation, it will be easier for me.
Yeah, sure. I read enough of figures about Thomas Bernhard and have this impact with him. And also because all this he developed this things sometimes very music and all that. It's a kind of sense of new life, comes out of this, it's like this tragic comedy.
I know that that very often humor is a response to things that are difficult. In the U.S., there's a strange situation where, in a kind of dark humor, it's pretending to protest when it really isn't. Someone once called irony the song of a bird that has come to love its cage. Has come to love its cage. And even though it sings about not liking the cage, it really likes it in there. It can be so that it can be both a wake-up call and an anesthetic. And the difference in the U.S. now is very tricky and very complicated, it seems to me. I'm not often all that aware of stuff that's really funny in the book. In the American version of Infinite Jest, I set out to write a sad book, and people liked it,
also, and this is different between Hegel and Kant, also
so
somehow
funny,
dynamic, somehow evolving.
It's the other strange
Second,
thing.
this philosophical system is first and foremost to be concerned with consciousness, what Kant called reason, and that what Hegel then calls spirit. Now, for Kant, reason is primarily a cognitive concept. Reason is that which makes sense of that which can be known, right? It is that which produces knowledge. And then on the basis of this, not only theoretical knowledge, but also practical knowledge, knowledge about that which is the right thing to do. Hegel's concept of consciousness goes beyond this relatively narrow cognitive approach of consciousness. It goes beyond an epistemological understanding of what could be called a theory of knowledge, and beyond what could be called a moral epistemology as we find it in Kant. It goes beyond the theory of knowledge about knowing what is the case and about knowing what to do. Instead, for Hegel, consciousness has the wider sense of spirit, which includes even like religious connotations, but also in a secular sense that we speak of something like the spirit of the times, which is a very much Hegelian notion, right? So it refers to something like a state of mind that informs history, that informs how we think and how we act. So in a sense, the notion of spirit points to something that informs society, informs culture, and informs both in a personal, but also importantly in a wider sense, a kind of a mindset of society. So in a sense, the philosophy of the spirit is not just an epistemology, not just a theory of knowledge, but it's an ontology in that it grounds that which is, and it's also a form of existentialism in the sense that it describes, let's say, the state of mind which informs the way in which we exist. Now, third, and importantly, Hegel phenomenology in which we exist. Now, third, and importantly, Hegel uses this term phenomenology, and it seems to be clear to me that phenomenology, this notion, indicates a shift in what we could maybe call the appreciation of appearance. In traditional Western philosophy, starting with the Greeks, appearance was basically something that we needed to, especially philosophy, needed to go beyond in order to get to truth. In Kant, of course, we see already a shift in which philosophy no longer tries to go that which is beyond appearance, but it tries to identify that which conditions experience, so what is a priori the case, and basically that which structures appearance. Now, for Hegel, appearance is neither something that we have to go beyond, nor something, the conditions of which we have to explore, but we deal with appearance right away. Not, however, in an empiricist way, where we are just looking at how we experience that which appears to us, but for Hegel, as I said, appearance takes on a positive meaning. And so let's look at the ambiguity of the German word erscheinen. On the one hand, erscheinen appearance is still, as the meaning of semblance, something that seems to be something, but isn't really that. So that is the negative sense of something that only appears to be. But then, and this is what Hegel really points to, is what we could call the positive sense of Erscheinung, appearance, something that comes into being, something that emerges, and then also, of course, passes away later on. This is how Pinkert, the translator of Hegel, translates an expression that Hegel uses in Stehen and Vergehen, the emergent and passing away of something. So that is it, appearance. Now, the German word Erscheinung has the element of shining in it, with these English and German words are similar. So basically, something that comes to shine, something that shines. So instead of going behind appearance, Hegel is trying to find truth in that which, so to speak, shines. So what we see here is a sort of an emancipation of appearance, right? By understanding appearance no longer primarily as that which merely appears to be something, but rather by understanding Erscheinung, appearance, as that which emerges, and in its emergence, so to speak, begins to shine.